Hello, and welcome to Intuitive Clarifications with Natasha. I am here to assist you in your life's journey, and I'm so grateful to be here with you. And I am so grateful to support the lives of around me. So I hope that you're doing well in this energies that we're in right now, because we're all in the midst of some big changes and things going forward. And I just was dealing with something. My mother-in-law is lovely here, and I'm so grateful for her to be here, and she was dealing with something on the phone, so I apologize for being a little bit late. But it's one of those things that we're all going forward in. Oh my gosh, we're going to be going into some planets going into retrograde here coming up soon. Mercury, I think Saturn and Neptune are all kind of going into retrograde. So remembering when planets go into retrograde, it's about how can we rethink, re-speak, re-understand, re-know, reapply, redo what we want to do. And so if you have contracts that you need to negotiate through, if you need to do something, please remember to reread those emails, reread the understandings, reread what they're doing for you, because we're all going forward in this. And so, if somebody doesn't know how to speak through these retrogrades, like for me, my husband sometimes struggles through those retrogrades, especially Mercury, that a lot of times I have to remind him, honey, we're going into Mercury in retrograde, because sometimes those blurts, are the things. And I was just talking with my kid who had to leave yesterday. I'm trying not to get emotional about it, but because we came up for my stepson's wedding, and so we had all the family here, all my kids was here, everything was happening, and so it was just a gift to have family around. And so I'm kind of discombobulated still a little bit. That's why I was waiting for the universe to tell me what to speak, and I might be channeling a little bit longer here today, because I'm just going to give it over. I'm going to give it over to the universe of love to guide me through what I'm supposed to speak about, because it's one of those things. And I almost wish I would have talked about the dragons here, because, those who are going to be listening later on podcast, you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to show a picture here of, sorry, I got to go through all the pictures of family being here. But there was literally a dragon. Let me get the light out. There was literally a dragon in the clouds. Literally a dragon in the clouds. And, it was like, that was so powerful for me to see the dragon in the clouds, because we're awakening so many of these ancient deities that have been here. A lot of the star beings are coming forward. They've been speaking to our government for a long time, from my understanding. And thank you, Veronica, for saying that. Yeah, it is very cool to see. And the dragons represent, from my understanding, the ley lines. And my elder I might be doing a lot of channeling today, because I'm just going to give it over. And that's the thing right now is about the surrendering, trust, and accepting of things. And it's not meaning that when we have those surrender, trust, and acceptings that we don't have boundaries. We need to have boundaries. We need to have that understanding. We need to have a lot of those, because it's like our government is going through things, right? And we're having understandings of things. And, even like my mother-in-law having this phone call that she was with Xfinity, it's like, it almost sounded like a scam to me. So I'm like, okay, let's rethink this, re-understand it, re-know it. And she's calling back to see if it's the same language. But, I'm here on my show, so I can't be there with her. And, we all have to look out for things. And so remembering, though, when you are trusting, surrendering, and accepting the journey of life, that it doesn't mean that you're a limp rag on the floor. It means that you have this understanding that, I'm going to surrender to what's coming to me, but I'm going to discern how it comes to me to negotiate going forward. If I'm accepting what's happening around me, it doesn't mean that I have to accept everything, but it means that I'm going to accept that I may not know everything, that I may need to understand things a little differently. Like, I'm going to go out after the show and find out the details. because when we go into these details of things, that we find that understanding greater. And so with that, it's not about accepting in the sense of that accepting in the lower vibration. And in that, my Wi-Fi is going a little bit wonky right now, so if you can let me know if it's getting wonky on your side, Veronica. I would appreciate it. So going into this, that when we are in the midst of doings and showings and going forwards, that the wisdom that is here is amazing. So coming back into that acceptance, coming back into that understanding, coming back into the wisdom, coming back into who we are, that the acceptance is like, if you don't like what's going on, everything is great, thank you, Veronica. That when we're coming into this I understanding of the government, it doesn't mean that we stand here and do nothing, but I'm choosing what dimension I want to be in. And even though I'm going to still have to play the game of the third dimension, which is our government right now, and we have these planets right now set up, that the last time that they were in this kind of setup was during the wars, during the Civil War, during the World War II, I think it was, and some things back, further back. And so we're in this mix up of what are we going to choose to do, and what are we going to be, and where are we going to go with this? But the more that we set out, the more that we are in fear, the more we're in depression, the more we're in that depressed moment. I'm not going to call it depression, but that depressed moment. Remembering that that depressed moment is the collective out there right now. And so don't step into that collective energy if you can. Be more empowered where you're at. Be more in love with where you're at. Be more in kindness of where you're at. Be more, like for me, it's like I got so wrung out that I didn't even finish posting my post last night. I fell asleep while I was doing it, because I've been going, and almost overstimulated because the wedding, and we drove over 7 hours, to, I think, Veronica, I was almost to you, because we were on the very east side of like just north of Spokane. And so, going into this, that was a long drive from where I was. And then I had my car packed. I mean, it was full of people. So it was like, there was just always like, no downtime, because we were always going and doing and being. And, my husband was a little bit distracted, so he was always playing music. So there was no like quiet time. And that's the thing, is that when you're in that trust, surrender, and acceptance, the trust is that something's great or good. And we're in this mix of what reality do we want to be in. And the reality is that my house is good. I'm loving my house. I'm going through things, reorganizing things, as things have happened. I was able to get rid of a couple things to my kid, because she chose to take them, and so there's been this movement happening in our world. So if you can, this is a great time to rethink about what you want. What do you want in your life? We're coming up into some moon changes. I think it's coming from a full moon to a new moon now, right now. So that changeover of what do we want to bring in our life is very powerful. And so, that is that part of when we trust and surrender and accept of ourselves, that what do we truly want to accept in our lives? What do we want to truly surrender to, the gifts that we have, or the wisdom that we're going to have? And, what are we going to trust that we can do in ourselves? And so, hi, Paula. Thank you for being here. So, going into this, that, it is about how can you trust yourself moving forward in spite of the realities around you. You don't have to be in depressed moments as you are moving forward, because, it's like no matter what's going to happen in our government, yeah, there's going to be the cause and effect. The thing is, though, like for me, I've been getting the hit that I need to do certain things, like, should I get more, get toilet paper every time I go to the grocery store, or, get these things that I don't necessarily can or do, get those things one at a time every time I go. And that's not going to be impacted, but it's going to be me trusting that I'm trusting my inner gut, because right now our intuition, our gut feelings are getting pretty powerful. And we got to trust them. And so if you can believe in that you are who you are and what you're doing, because there is a moment where we're going to have to really step into our discernment and say, no, this isn't working for me. No, this isn't going to happen for me. No, this is not going to be what I need. And that's the opposite of acceptance, right? But the acceptance that, no, I don't like it, is part of that acceptance dance. That acceptance understanding is, no, this is not going to happen for me. I'm not accepting what's happening, right? So how can you negotiate what is your truth? What is your understanding? What is your belief system? What is your magic in you? Well, it is a fine line, and it is the 50-yard line of a football field, right? It's not darned if you do and darned if you're not, but it's about how do you negotiate. And so coming into this, it is time for us to really believe in who we are and do what we're doing and know that no matter what, like if my husband wanted to move to another state right now, the government can change in a heartbeat. It depends on the governor. It depends on the reality of things, and it depends on what's happening. And, it's like, I'm not going to move out of fear. So be careful about making decisions out of fear, right? Make sure that you are understanding yourself and believing in who you are and magically doing what you're doing. And I know for me, seeing that dragon over my stepson's wedding, and it was there for almost like 5-ish minutes or so. And I did a video on it, and it was there for a very long time. And that's the thing about these ancient understandings that are coming to our planet again. They're awakening, because the dragons represents the mountains. Well, there's also gnomes in the dragon in the hills too, so it's kind of a collective here. But and that's my belief system and my truth, being who I am. So come into who you are and what you're doing, because this is a really time to discern who you are and what you do, what you want. What do you truly want? What kind of life do you want? Are you going to live in scarcity? This is not a great time to live in scarcity, especially with all these planets that are coming into retrograde right now. That it's like we've had summers where we've had like 7 planets in retrograde. So it's not that we haven't done this before, but you probably found your way through them by discerning your way through it. And for me, I understand it's the year of the snake still, shedding our skin, get rid of the old, coming into the new. And sometimes, the snake has, the skin over their eyes, so they can't see what's going on. But it's that point of where it's like, I got to trust my instincts, my understanding, my vision of what I want. And so sometimes if you can't see where you're going to go yet, that's that part of trust, surrender, acceptance of where does the universe want to help you get through. And that's by witnessing things. Like for me, witnessing the dragon, right? Witnessing the dragon, I was like, wow, that's empowerment. That's strength. That's fire. That's that wisdom. And it had the head of the Chinese dragon of like last year. It was the year of the dragon, but that energy still continues. And so when you're thinking about that ancient wisdom of the Chinese, or that ancient timeline, that they've come through many understandings of different governments, depending on the leader, depending on what that system was. And so the dragon that I showed you was representation of the understanding. And I'm going to show it again here, because I mean, the details of this dragon was so immense, that it was like such wisdom that was coming forward. And this was pretty much after about 5-7 minutes that this cloud was still in the dragon form. And for a marriage, yeah, exactly. And I need to actually share that with my new daughter-in-law and stepson, that it is a good omen, because it is about that. And so the snake is still that representation of that understanding, because the Chinese dragon is more snake-like, right? So coming into this, that we are in the wisdom, and the dragons really want to help us be strength. I know for me, since my dragon has relived in myself, that my empowerment, it's like I turn my head, and if I'm not liking something, my dragon pops up, and the person who I'm talking to kind of goes, I'm not too sure about what I'm talking about here, right? And so, it's a moment where we're doing things. And I'm going to actually take right now a moment where, because my elder wants to come up, and actually he wanted to come up, and I'm going to actually probably channel him again in a video here coming up on my social media. That, it's one of those things. So my elder wants to come in, and he is a dragon his name is Elder. And if you have dragons, and many of us are part of the dragon clan, and the dragon clan is, you just have that rumble in you, that fire in you, and that understanding in you. And an elder, a dragon will not tell you their true name. That means ownership over them. Just like all of our souls have a name that only you should know, because otherwise, like I'm Natasha in this lifetime, but my soul has another name. And it usually, I'm more angelic in my soul. And so it has a song as a name. And so with that once you have that name over somebody, they usually have more control over your understanding. And so that's where we as people not always know our soul name, because of the fact that that means ownership. And just like dragons will give you a name, like mine said, call me Elder, because that's part of his understanding. Now he has a true name. I kind of get a glimpse of it, but I will never take ownership over him. He is part of my clan. I am part of his clan. We are part of the clan. And so with that I trust that process. So remember, when I channel somebody, that it is part of the understanding. So your truth is your truth. That the team of understanding want you to know that as you go forward, that you can believe in what I'm saying or not saying, or doing or not doing. But please remember, listen to the words, listen to the understandings, and that may help you go forward in your life. Okay, so I'm going to take a second, because he's right here. He's with me all the time. So it just will take me a second. It's not like Mikael, who has to come. And Mikael wants to come a little bit later after this. Okay. I told you I was going to kind of give it over and trust, surrender, accept to what was going to happen today's show. Okay. So just give me a second here. Oh, dear ones, there is so much power in you in this world of yours. And now you're going to be channeling into this new power. I come to you as a guidance, so that as you can come into your power, I am here to strengthen you into your understanding. Each of you has a dragon with you. Dear ones, everyone has one. Veronica, you have one that is called, she wants to be called Sister. Sister is part of your clan. When you are in that magical white will give you some strength. Fly upon her wings to give some strength. Dear Paula, you have one too. You have several. And Veronica, you have several. You have met others, but this dear one, Sister, wants to help you. Paula, you have one that is called Wisdom. Wisdom is going to be the one that wants to be called this. This dear one has very, very purple skin with a little bit of green tint. So you've probably been wisdom. You have been working with this dear one for a while now. And as you go forward into this understandings of the wisdom that you are coming into, remember that as you come into this, now where do you feel the energy of I, Elder, in this dear one that works with me? You feel it right in the chest area. That is where your dragons like to sit. They like to sit in the knowings of that baseline of the heart. The heart is part of our beat. We beat with your beat. We beat with our beat. We beat together. And as we roar and come into your empowered source of yourself, remember that you are wisdom. I carry great wisdom. You carry great wisdom. Walk with that wisdom. The game that is being played on this planet right now is so human that we will not allow it to destroy the planet. Us and the friends that are of the sky and deep in this planet have been working together for many, many millions of central years. Time is different in my language, and as we go forward towards the journey of the wisdom, your planet is changing its timeline too. That is why things feel so weird and movement. So if you are wanting to spend time, like this dear one wants to spend time with her mother-in-law, mother of heart, as she would like to call her, because she is getting mother time. Her mother has crossed over many years ago now, almost 28 years ago. So she values mother when she witnesses it. Remember that as we come into our self understandings, that you have this chest roar. Go into that when you know you need to be empowered. There are others that are watching in the background. You too have dragons. It is time for you to believe that we are real. We are the timekeepers of this earth. We are part of the stars and part of this earthly realm. We come to support this earth's change. We are waking up the ley lines, as you call them, the grid on this planet. We are waking it up. So if you feel the earth's energy shifting, that is part of what we are doing. Come to believe and breathe that roar when you find you have your dragon. I am Elder, here to support this dear one in her life's walk of supporting you. I have chosen to come as my brother was in the sky. I will be here more, and more as your path goes forward, as your dragons will. Believe in your inner roar. You will go further, and people will respect you differently when you know that. Be deep. Us dragons are deep. It's that deep, the deep. If you're wondering how to connect, the heart center is where we sit. The heart center is what rumbles and loves to speak truth. May you know that you are taken care of and you are loved. May you know you are part of us and we are part of you. Wow. Whew. That is like grounding, centering. That is like when you work with your dragon, it's very interesting to be, because I know for me that when I call upon my dragon, there was a time once that I was walking down in a place and there was somebody who was following me in a parking lot, and I called upon Elder. and he came up, and I turned around, and that person turned around and walked away. I didn't go, I didn't second chest. I just trusted that process of elder coming up in me, and it probably saved me because of that understanding that. And I just don't throw elder out wherever. It's not a game, but it's a purpose. It's a purpose. So trust that purpose and trust that understanding. And thank you, Paula, for and Veronica for being here. And anybody else who I love helping people find their dragon. So if you're looking for finding a dragon and connecting with your dragon, I can do that in a private session. Okay. So how is everybody doing? I'm so grateful that we're all here, all doing this. We're in this great wisdom time. And I know for me that sleep has been part of my journey of kind of centering myself. So remembering that if you are a little bit tired right now, or a little wrung out, or a little bit like, I just don't want to be doing what I'm doing, that's part of this energy field. But remembering that as you go forward, that it's not about saying you don't want to do it. It's about saying, how can I do it? It's not, like I even caught my mother-in-law saying, it's like, I'm old. I don't understand. Well, don't tell people on the phone that you're old. Just say, my mind is just a little bit off today, right? So kind of come to more of a neutral conversation, because it's not time for us to call ourselves stupid. It's not time to call ourselves ill, or it's like, I don't know how many times I've heard people say lately that that their heart, it's killing, I don't even want to say the words, right? It's like, it's a moment. So be careful what we're saying about things and doing things, and that wisdom that is coming forward. Okay. And remembering that no matter what you're doing, that we're going to be perfectly imperfect as we walk through this summer. I know this is my summer that I am planning in the northern hemisphere. It's the fall in the southern hemisphere, but my time in the summer, this time in the summer, I'm planning on getting myself centered. I'm planning on getting myself, my feet underneath me. I'm planning on I want to even redo my front room, and it's feeling closer and closer to getting it done. And I just need to pull things away from the wall and just start doing it. And it's going to be perfectly imperfect. It's going to be, I might do one layer, and then I might do another layer, and I might do another layer, and it might take me 3 months to get it done, but that's okay. But I'm also going through things. I was able to organize a closet today and feel like it's got more room. So take this time. If you get an itch to do something, then do it if you have the time. And if you don't have to do it all the way, sometimes, like with my ADHD brain, sometimes I need to just concentrate on a box and take that box out. Like today, my mother-in-law was helping me because I have a bunch of playing cards, and they were all mismatched, and all they just got thrown in. And so we made sure that all the decks were good. And boy, and the basket that it's in now is all organized, right? So go into what you knowing that you're doing. So sometimes we have to take these moments. And I'm having a hard time getting off playing the games once in a while, but I'm telling myself, let's get moving forward. Let's do this. Let's find our way. Let's negotiate what we're doing. And I know for me, even me putting away my clothes after washing them, I started organizing my closet, and I got rid of about 3 tops, or a sweater that wasn't working quite right, or whatever wasn't quite right. And so this is a great time not to put stress on ourselves. It's a great time not to put an agenda out there. Like, I want to get to and if I start pulling the wallpaper off now, I'm going to have to, right? So it is a moment where start doing the process, but don't put that, like, the gas pedal on. If you can, don't be totally in disarray for what you're doing. And it's really time just to slow down, hug a tree if you need to, make sure you don't have any sap on it. Do those things that can really support you in your life's walk of being you and understanding and getting centered and being grounded. And we're all in the midst of doing things, and I know that life is turning us upside down and inside out, but it is about believing that you can. And just like for me, can I do the wallpaper in the other room? Yeah, I can, and I will. It's a thing. So when you are in this moment of being you, remembering that this is a time to really kind of turn ourselves inside and out. It's the year of the snake. It's a 9 year for the universe. It's a 9 year, and then we're having a bunch of these retrogrades, right, that are helping us go through the rethink, re-understand, renew. I don't know how many deep conversations I've had with people because it's been that renewing new understandings and believing who we are during that process. I'm getting the tap that Mikael wants to come through now. And so with that, so I'm going to plan on pulling some oracle cards at the end of this. So if you want an oracle card, remembering that Mikael is a star being, he is here. He will not be reading. I close my eyes because of the fact that I want to be more centered and not distracted. And so that's why I close my eyes when I channel. So he may get a sense that he might tell somebody something or that kind of thing, but remembering that the wisdom is coming for you and with you, and it's time to really get the understanding. Like when I was driving, we saw turkey, I saw a chipmunk, I saw an eagle, I saw a deer, I saw the universe was really telling us. I saw dragons in the clouds. I actually saw a heart. Like there was the picture that I used for today's show was almost a heart shooting towards a feather. It was kind of an interesting moment. So look around you, be observant. It's time to really be observant in our life. So believe in you. It's time to really discern, and it's really time to trust, surrender, and accept that wisdom. Like I said at the beginning of the show, it's really time for us to really find our truer understandings and gifts. So it's a wisdom. It's a wisdom. It's a wisdom. Okay, so I'm kind of tapping into Mikael right now as I'm talking here. Yes, I will, girls. I definitely will give you oracle cards here when I'm done with Mikael. Okay. So remembering when I channel that this is a time for you to witness the voice or the words being said. Remembering your truth is your truth. This is just an understanding I have. I channel fully, but I don't. Wisdom is my dragon's name. Yes, one of them. You have a couple of them, my dear, but wisdom is one of that she is choosing to be called wisdom. Or is it he? He. It's a he. Sorry. It's a he. Hello, lovelies. You have come through some major changes, as I said before. But every time I witness you, great ones are moving forward. We are all coming into this planet to support you. If you notice that there are more things in the sky, you are seeing more orbs, you are seeing more understandings. Remembering that our orbs are us, we are just shifting and changing our dimensions and realities. Many a times, some of the orbs that you are seeing are fae, as you call them on this planet. Some of them are of the angelic realm. It depends on how the orbs are looking. But there are some that of the orbs that are more, as you call them, what are they called? The things that drones. Drones. They are not necessarily drones, but they are part of our system of, I wouldn't use the word spying. That's not what we choose to do. It's not about spying, it's looking to see what is going on in this area and that area so we know how to assist you. Now, there are in the star planets of our realities the good people and the not so good people, and I'm calling them people for your language. We are working with the good on this planet. You have enough negative, as the language is for your planet. And the darkness that is coming forward on your planet is part of the awakening process. You have been witnessing many people who have seen things that from the old patterns that are creating change that is coming forward. You may hear this in the understanding of people who are buying, of selling, of youngers, that they are being sabotaged, so they cannot do that as much as they like to, even though they have power in their understanding. And it will take a little while for this change over of darkness to light. It is time for you to believe in what you're doing, of who you are, because this is an individual walk at this time. Many people think that, yes, you are collective. You are a collective. Yes, you are part of that understanding of the collective. There is individuality in this collectiveness. If you were all one, you would be all one and you would be exactly alike. We are not all exactly alike either. That is why we have different names, as you understand. Bashar and I share wisdom, we share understandings, we share of likeness. He has chosen to come on this planet longer than I have. I have not chosen to be part of your slower generational walk. I am part of the quicker. I came in for the strength of moving forward. It is time for you to understand that your strength and your wisdom and your gifts and your individuality and your being and your light, your love, your thoughts, your knowings are very important. Do not follow the choices of negativity. The people of this planet love to throw cloaks over the wolves' eyes, and you are the wolves, my children. You are part of this choice of moving forward. That is why you chose to be on this planet at this time, is for you to become more empowered, so your soul knows what that feeling is. The souls on this planet have walked through a lot of lower vibration understanding. Now you are coming into a stronger vibrational source center. Remember that as you are walking into this next vision of yourself, version of yourself, understanding of yourself, it is about joyfulness. Find joy. That will shift up your vibration, which will bring in more of your concepts. That does not mean that you need to be solely there. Like this dear one last night was in a lower vibration because she was tired and slower, and things were not working in her benefit, but yet she kept moving forward, and that wisdom is going to help her in her future. So think about when you are in a lower vibration, that it is not a punishment or a story. It is part of the being able to rebound into a greater strength that you are. Do you understand this? I hope that as you go into who you are, you're going to have these moments where you're going to be slower, less vital, less energy filled, and that is okay. Flow with it, roll with it, align yourself with it. Let there be wisdom in your knowings and in your okayness as you move forward in your journey. Remember, I, Mikael, as being here for you as you will start seeing us come to your planet more and more as we have been here already many of times over time. Be what you can with where you are at, because every moment makes a difference in your realities. Do not ask for time to move forward fast. It is already going to be there. My channel here is going to be coming into big changes and shifts, just like all of you. So be ready, be loving to yourself as you move into that understanding. Your planet will be doing some shifting and changing as well as we upgrade her and into wisdom. So do not be afraid if the earth shakes a little. We are not into destruction, we are into creation. Time for you to believe in you and remember your vibration on the lighter side than the darker side will be a benefit to the collective. I, Mikael, are sending you love and guidance as you go into your next journey of your life. So be it. Whew. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm so grateful. Hi, Jessica. How are you? Yes, you'd like a card too? Yes, I will do that. Okay. So what I'm going to do, who wants to be? I would like to do dragons, but I don't want to read. I'm not reading real well right now with my dyslexia because I've had so much coming. I'm coming off of a very busy time. So I'm giving my brain a chance to just do what it needs to do and wants to do naturally. So I am pulling the wisdom of Avalon oracle cards, and I love to do that with you. So so grateful for Elder and Mikael. You're more welcome. Okay, so who was the first one? Veronica. So this is for you, Veronica, since you were the first to ask. Woo! Okay, Veronica, you have a couple here. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so this is going to be kind of quick. Okay, Veronica. So you can, if you have more, you can go back and watch it. Okay. So you're in a time where risk is going to be part of your story, but remembering that every risk that you trust yourself in, that you're going to be the benefit because you're digesting your life. I don't know which card was upside down or not, but remembering that it's time for you to take care of you, take care of your nutrients. You've been on a great path doing this better and better, but remembering that it's also about digesting your life, where you're at and what you're doing, because the wisdom is coming to you through the shadows, through the darkness, because you're getting a bigger vision. So you had owl and eagle, and they are opposites. So darkness and light, remember. So the eagle is about the light, the greater vision, and the owl is about the greater vision and the darkness. So remembering that both will balance out because you have protection and you have synchronistic events and magic, and oh my gosh, the wisdom is coming, because the wind will take away your doubts. Let the wind take away your doubts, because you're done being the novice. You have strengths, you have wisdom, in the partnership of the wisdom, because dragon wants to be with you as you're weaving your new web of your life, because you're empowered, my dear. You are empowered to be your community's wisdom as you come from darkness to light, as you become your beautiful swan. Wow, that was quick. I hope that makes sense, Veronica. Thank you for trusting me. That was a quick one. Okay, so now, card please. Jessica, is you're next. Okay, let's see. So Jessica, here's yours. Woo! Okay, ooh! Falling out of my hand. Your disruption that you've had in the past, the disruption of where you've been, has brought love into your life. It is really time for you to focus on the love moving forward. You are far from being the past. You're now in the present. As my kid said, my son Scott said, your past self was setting yourself up for your now self. And your now self is setting you up for wiseness in your future self. And there's one more card that wants to come here. Woo. Okay, so because you're shedding your skin of your old for the movement that is coming for your life, because your transformation of the butterfly, you got great transformation coming, my dear, because you're going to land on your feet and you have this ancient wisdom of the cat. Okay, so come forward into who you are. It is really time for you to release yourself of the old stories to become your beautiful self, because there's movement all around you, because it's time to climb to the top of the trees to get it, so that you can have the love, because you're done with the disruption that is causing all this. You may have a little bit of disruption still. This is part of this new world that we're coming into, is disruption. But look at all the disruption to bring you to love. Okay? Okay, so okay. Woo! This is for Paula. The disruption card again. You're done with that disruption, my dear. Okay, this is for Paula. Because your environment is changing. Your environment is changing, Paula, for the better. Cleaning your house, releasing emotional baggage. You have done a lot of this, but it's time for you to really take care of your body, as you have been doing. Yeah, your body's been going through things. Woo! Because of the stress of life. Okay. Because you've been letting go of a lot of things. So remembering, shake it like a dog. Sometimes you got to shake to let go of things, because you have protection for the greater vision. Your protection is here to help you through for your greater vision, because you're letting go of the old story, because you've been cleaning up, you've been doing things, because your disruption of like your move to Arizona, it was big disruption, but you're kind of getting into that calmness again, my dear. Okay. Oh, yes. So Paula says that Paula said that a couple months ago, my card said my grid wasn't going to be moved forward until summer. Well, 2 days after, the solstice, I got help putting in my yurt and my generator. So summer solstice, right? Summer. Um, so yay! I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Denise, hi Denise. Thank you for being here. Thank you. You are such a beautiful ray of light and beautiful Clement soul. Thank you so much. Within 48 hours after the solstice, I moved forward more than a year ago. Yay. Okay. So, Natasha, do you realize that you are a beautiful earth angel? Yes, I do, actually. But I step away from the ego-ness of it. Because I know my soul is angel, fae, star being. And when Jesus calls me sister, but I have to step off that pedestal. I'm not the empowered one. The universe helps me be empowered. Although I'm empowered too, but thank you very much. So, my loving beings, thank you for being here with me. I'm so grateful. I'm feeling like I need to go back out and be with my mother-in-law. My husband just came home, and this feels like even though this show's just a few minutes short, it's time for me to be. So may love be with you, and know that thank you for receiving me as surrender and trust and acceptance in the show, because I had no idea what to say, but it all came forward, didn't it? So if that shows you how to trust, surrender, and accept and move forward into empowerment and discernment, I hope this gives you some understanding. So those who are watching this or listening to this on podcast, there was some interaction. So you may want to go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter IC, to see the interactions. And you are more than welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. I am live next Wednesday, and I think I'm going to be having, I'm going to have my friend, Catherine, who does the Dawning Institute on. I have to double check with her. So thank you for being you. Remember, you are a miracle in the works. So stay in that understanding that miracles sometimes have to have some shedding to be able to come into light. Blessed be to you. I'm Natasha Venter, Intuitive Clarifications, loving to assist you. If you're looking for your dragon, how to connect with your dragon, I can do that in a private session. Blessing be to you. Bye now.